Welcome to the Taking the Lead podcast, where we empower people to be unstoppable. I'm Leslie Hoskins with my co-hosts Alyssa Otis and Timothy Cunio. Welcome, guys.
Hello, hello.
How are we doing today?
It's okay. Doing all right.
Yeah, doing pretty good. Staying cool,
Hanging
which is
in
great.
there.
Hanging in there. And I feel like summer is flying by, but at the same time, it's just going real slow.
Yeah, which is a good place to be.
Which is a good place to be. I would never wish winter upon myself in July or August or September or honestly even in January or February. But here
I'm
we
just
are.
counting the weekends because it's getting closer to the Georgia football game. So.
Okay.
I know. Everything on the radio is all about football starting and who's a free agent and all these words I don't know. I
You guys are listening to the wrong radio, I think.
Maybe they'll change their costumes for Leslie.
Yes, exactly. Their
Oh,
outfits.
Yes, their little outfits. Oh, yeah.
Too funny. Too
No,
funny.
Summer is wild, getting ready for all of the fall things, and apparently we're already in football season. So what more can you ask for? But I know it has been hot out there for the puppies, for all of our dogs. We were just talking to Timothy actually about making sure that Glacier was staying nice and cool and hydrated. And he was saying how he's, of course, if it's too hot for us people, it's probably too hot for those furry friends of ours.
Oh, I always test the black top when we get out going places. You got to put your hand down there for about 10 seconds. If it burns you, it's going to burn your dog.
Absolutely. Yeah, they say
be careful
even
with that.
the back of your hand too, on that.
A little
on
more
that,
sensitive.
A little more sensitive if you have a dog that has a little bit more sensitive paws.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really good idea.
And Glacier doesn't like to wear those balloons on her feet when we're going through Walmart.
Yeah, not so much into the dog booties.
That is one of my
she
favorite
hates them.
things.
She walks around with her head down like she's in disgrace.
Oh, no.
It's like my dog, if you put a costume on her, she just freezes. Like
Yeah.
she will not move.
Little body sensitive there. I don't know if she would have made it as a guide dog.
No, she certainly would not have.
But we have a lot of dogs that do make it as guide dogs.
That's
maybe
true.
not yours.
Yeah, certainly not.
Oh my goodness. But today I kind of wanted to talk to you guys. I know that, in the background, we have been talking, and I know Timothy's mentioned it here on the podcast before, that we are, getting to that point where he is contemplating that retirement of Glacier. And I just wanted to kind of talk about the life cycle of a leader dog with everybody. So, we see these incredibly trained guides out there. They obviously have to come from somewhere. So where do they come from? So for those of you that know about leader dogs, some of this might be a little bit of review, but it's always fun to go over kind of that life cycle. And we breed all of our own dogs. So we use those Labradors and Golden Retrievers, and we also mix those two breeds. So we breed all of our own dogs. They then go and live with puppy raisers, which are these incredible group of volunteers who take these dogs to all different areas. They're taking them to grocery stores. They're taking them to places of worship. They're taking them to soccer games. Really anywhere that they go work, if they're allowed to take their dog to work from their management says they can. All of those things are what our puppy raisers are doing during that year. They're also teaching good dog skills. So we're not teaching guide dog skills as puppies, but those good dog skills. We're not jumping on tables. We're not, pulling on my handler's leash, not barking at other dogs and those kinds of things. So even before they go through guide dog training, these dogs go through a lot. Timothy, I don't know if you have had a chance to ever meet or talk to Glacier's puppy raiser. I believe you have. Yeah, you're close with them, right? You visit.
Yeah, we visited them with a couple for like a couple of weeks, so they've got to see Glacier, and I got to say thank you to them and all that and good stuff. And yeah, we stay in contact constantly. They've moved to Alabama now, so they're a little bit close.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
So they were in Wisconsin, now they're in Alabama. So yeah, they're great people, and they love Leader Dog, and they love the mission that they've done. I think Glacier was their 7th or 8th dog.
I was just going to ask. They've raised before, so yeah, clearly.
Yeah, and all of them graduated. And
really?
Wow.
Every one of their dogs. So they got pictures of all their dogs with their handlers. What that photo we take, and they've got all of them put up somewhere in their house of all their dogs and all the new handlers.
That's crazy.
I don't know if I know of any puppy raiser that's had all their dogs.
To ask too, I don't think I've ever asked, did they use like a naming thing? Like some people name their dogs all different types of cheeses. Like what is their naming?
A, B, C, D, F, G.
Oh, okay.
So Glacier was named after, Wisconsin, the Great Lakes were carved out by Glacier. So that's where that name comes from.
Okay.
Because I was curious and I had to ask.
Well, right, because
Of
she's a
course.
black lab, which nobody thinks Glacier is going to be a black
That
lab.
didn't even
Black
occur to me
eyes.
until just now.
Here to help.
Oh my goodness. That's great that you get to have that relationship with them. It's so nice too now with social media is I'm finding so many more clients and puppy raisers are staying in touch, sharing those photos. You know, it's not just necessarily sending a Christmas card anymore. It can be so much more if you want it to be.
Well, you got to understand the puppy raisers for 1 year take care of that dog. They support that dog. They do everything for that dog. So the dog is part of their lives too. And I always want them to know what's going on with Glacier and pictures and stuff like that. Let's just say a big thank you because they do take time out of their lives to do what they do and to give up that dog. What a sacrifice. That would be tough to do, but they do
For
it.
sure. I'm sure it is. And like they say with people come into your life at different times and for different lengths for different reasons. And I firmly believe that goes through the entire guide dog spectrum because these dogs go into so many different people's lives for different lengths of time, but all for super important purposes.
I love that perspective.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
over
so
here tantalizing
nice.
Leslie. This
Give her
is
a
I
gold
great.
know.
star.
How kind is that? That's such a good point, though. And I think just like people, right? Everybody has a different meaning and impact. And I love that.
Absolutely. And that's what makes up our guide dogs. And so, like you said, Timothy, they then have to drop off those dogs. And we know that that's super emotional. They've put so much time, effort, money, energy into these dogs to raise them for that year. And then they return them. But again, knowing that they're going for that bigger purpose, hopefully. So we then spend 4 months training these dogs. So somebody who's a guide dog mobility instructor will get those dogs. They, of course, are going to have vet checks and make sure that they're all healthy. Our canine care staff is going to get them all set and ready and comfortable in our canine center. And then the GDMIs start their role, which is 4 months of guide dog instruction and training. So we are teaching them to stop at curbs, both before you go into the street and once you've crossed the street to make sure you've made a successful crossing. We're teaching them to avoid obstacles, partial, full obstacles that are blocking the whole sidewalk, overhead obstacles like tree branches. We're teaching traffic responsibility. We're working on pace and pull. And it sounds like we're doing a lot of stuff in 4 months. It's a lot of repetition and it's a lot of, the more you do it, the better at it you get as an instructor. So we at Leader Dog are very fortunate. We have some instructors that have been here, 30, 40 years. So tons of experience there. But after those 4 months, that's when we kind of match them to the person they're going to. So as an instructor, for example, was working with Glacier. They were getting to know Glacier. They were watching videos of people that were waiting for dogs and saw Timothy's video and said, yeah, I think that might be the fit. And called Timothy. Timothy got to come to class and work with Glacier and has now been working for many years. And we're getting close to potential retirement. Most dogs work for about 8 to 10 years. So you've been working with Glacier for a little while now, right,
Be
Timothy?
7 years this August.
There you go.
Each dog has a different cycle. Some may be shorter, some may be longer, and that's just the beauty of it. And I've seen the difference in Glacier and her work, and so that's why we're making that decision. And Glacier's been a lot of places.
Yeah.
So she's gone over and beyond of what she was probably picked way back when. So we never knew what I'd be doing 5, 6 years later. So.
And that's a great point too, is the dogs that we're giving to people, like, say we give you a dog in 2026, in 10 years from now or even 7 years, you might be doing something completely different than you were doing when you got that dog, whether it be because of that dog, and getting that independence or not. And you now are traveling like a frequent flyer.
Yeah. Glacier's been a strong dog.
Yeah.
She's been great. So I give credit to her trainers and also me.
I was going to say.
We have to keep the dog trained up. You just don't get a dog. You got to work that dog because that dog can, if it sits on the couch for 2 weeks, it's going to start, hey, I like this life better.
It's just like me. Jinx. No, but you're right. It is so true. It's not just the puppy racer. It's not just, people at Leader Dog, and it's not just the client. It's such a combination of all of those. And every dog retires at a different age, just like people. Some have that earlier retirement, whether it be a medical reason, maybe something changes with the dog's health, maybe something changes with its, the handler's help, our client's help. You never know, or health. You never know what's going to happen.
Well, trust me, I'm getting close to 60 years old, and trust me, I've got wear and tear on me hanging onto a dog for the past 7 years. So it
sure.
changes.
That is certainly something to think about, and very different than the wear and the tear of the cane.
I was going to say.
I might note that just really quickly.
You got to replace those tips too.
You do have to replace the cane tips. They're not no maintenance, but they are low maintenance.
And it does have an impact on your physical ability. But
yes.
One thing I also think is so important to share, right, Timothy, as you're kind of going through this process and you're starting to notice things about Glacier, that leader dog is still always here, right? Alyssa and all the other guide dog mobility instructors are here to have those conversations, because it might be a one-off, or you might be able to motivate them in a different way. So to have that access to the, experts in that area and be having those conversations so they can talk through, what are you, looking for? What are you noticing? Have you tried this? Alyssa, what are some of those things if somebody were to call and say, I don't know, I think maybe my dog's wanting to retire. Yeah. What are you going to say?
Yeah. First, I just want to kind of hear why. What are you seeing that is telling you that your dog might have to retire? Next, I'm going to start asking some questions. So like, when you pull out that harness, is your dog just as excited to put it on? Or is your dog walking away and kind of laying down? Is your dog going on a normal route that they would do, but kind of, puttering out halfway through? Or are they overstepping your curbs? Just because they're kind of in auto mode and just walking, not paying as much attention? Are you bumping into more things? Anything that shows me your dog might be kind of losing a little bit of that responsibility. It's not that they don't have the ability to do it, but they're just saying, I'm tired. I've done this and I've done a good job, mom or dad, and now it's time to, let me retire and relax. But a lot of the times we have clients that call us because they don't know and they don't want to make a right or wrong decision, but there is no such thing as a right or wrong decision here. And that is the hardest thing, is it is such a gray area. A lot of people will go into partial retirement and kind of see how that works. So I know that, Timothy, you said that you're working Glacier sometimes, not taking her others. And that's what a lot of our clients are doing when they're getting ready to retire, is giving the dog that grace that they need and so, deserve, but also not overworking them.
Yeah, I was able to talk to Meredith last November when I was up there for the retraining, refresher course. And we sat down and talked for a while, and I told her my concerns. And earlier this year, I decided, hey, I'm going to pull the switch a little bit sooner than I planned on it. And we put that application in a little while back. And Glacier is those things that you were describing is what she's doing. And I get, been with her for 7 years, and I know her, and I can tell that she's getting that point where, hey, I don't know about this. She's getting mouthy. By what I say by mouthy, we'll be going through a grocery store like the other day. We were in Kroger, and all of a sudden we're going down the checkout lane because she saw something on the floor that she wanted to go put in her mouth.
Yeah,
and that's a sign it's something she's never done before. I mean, 2-3 years ago, she wasn't doing it, but
sure.
Recently she's been doing it. So that's a sign of it. Hey,
reverting back to a toddler.
It really is.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm going to see what I can get away with here.
Yeah. And good on you, Timothy, for listening to her. I mean, you clearly know her the best of anybody. I mean, you've worked with her longer than anybody else has, and you notice when things are different.
Yeah. So, I mean, the life cycle is different for each dog. Read your dog. And if you start feeling uncomfortable, that's a sign that, hey, maybe. I know we all want to work our dogs as long as we can, but your safety is the most important thing here, and the dog's safety also, because you're going to be crossing streets still. So when you start feeling a little uncomfortable, let's, maybe start talking about it.
Yeah, great point. Have a conversation. Like Leslie said, we are always there. Even if everything has been going great for 8 years and I haven't heard from you in 8 years, please know that we are here. We want to have that conversation.
It's not a failure. It's part of the lifestyle of a dog handler.
That's exactly it.
It is interesting too, not everybody chooses to go and get a new guide dog right away, right? Like Timothy, you have decided to apply for a guide dog, continue working Glacier as you feel comfortable working her. And then you'll officially retire her once you are coming for your new guide dog. Other people might choose to not get a new guide dog. And Alyssa, how do you help anybody
Yeah,
think
it is.
that through.
I know it's tough because, again, I feel like we just keep saying it's a gray area, but because it's such personal preference, so when a client has been successfully working with a dog, if they've successfully worked with that dog throughout its working life, that dog is theirs legally after a year if they haven't been put on any sort of probationary contract or concerns are happening. So when somebody retires a dog, it's really up to them. Some people, like Timothy, will apply for another dog and continue to work his dog even partially until that new dog is found for him. There's other people that will retire their dog and keep them as a pet and then just decide I'm going to use my white cane until my dog maybe, passes away, and then maybe I'll look at getting another one. And there's other people that say that was a really fun 7 or 8 years, and it's really not for me in this time in my life like it was maybe 7 or 8 years ago, and I'm going to stick with the white cane. Maybe 5 years down the line, they change their mind and they let us know, but good thing is we'll always be there. So even if you do use your white cane in between dogs and say you want to use that as your primary mobility aid, great. If you ever change your mind, we're here. If you don't and you want upskilling on your white cane skills, we're also here. So there's no right or wrong, which makes it so much harder, I think, sometimes. I think people want me to say, yes, retire your dog today. Today's the day. But just like with people, it's not that simple.
It's also interesting, too, that, we get the question all the time of like, oh my gosh, it's so sad when the dog retires and you have to take the dog back. And it's like, oh, wait a minute.
No.
That's that client's dog, right? We can and always will take a dog back if somebody can no longer care for their dog, or sometimes people live in housing where they can no longer keep the dog because it's not a service animal. It's now a pet. Some people will adopt their dog to a close family member or friend so they can still see the dog if they can no longer care for him. But that is an important thing that's the client's decision. The client will determine where that dog continues its life. But Leader Dog is always available should we need to.
Yeah, if somebody doesn't have somewhere for their dog to go, they can't keep the dog for whatever reason, it is not looked upon negatively in any way, shape, or form. We will gladly take that dog back to Leader Dog. And then honestly, they get offered up to the puppy raiser that raised them for that first year of life. So it's lovely. I know we have a few instructors that have raised and have gotten their dogs back in retirement, and something super special to see. The dogs that come back retired, they never stay on campus long.
They're VIP veterans. We all kind of,
emails are sent out.
Yeah, they're
retired
just really
dog
special.
Is here.
Really special.
Yeah.
Well, let everybody know I am going to keep Glacier. Cheryl said she would get rid of me first if I didn't. So
that's hilarious.
I guess I need a roof over my head.
I don't know if Leader Dog would take you, Timothy. I don't know if we could find a house for you.
That's too funny.
My goodness. But yeah, it's tough. It's a tough situation. I think you're handling it with a ton of grace, Timothy. I think it's not easy for anybody. Please also, if anybody is going through this or in the future is going through this, we also have resources. We have people that you can talk to that are not instructors, that have gone through this themselves. Real life experience and real life stories and ability to kind of connect on that level and talk about the difficulty of the situation. Because although it's happy, the dog did a great thing for 7 to 10 years, definitely emotional.
Absolutely. And Timothy, thank you for sharing your journey with us. I think it's so important to have that personal touch and share all the things and considerations that have gone into this decision. And we'll continue to follow your journey, but we greatly appreciate you always sharing your story.
That's what I'm supposed to do. You do.
We love that. Well, you're doing it right. So we want to thank all of you guys for listening to the Taking the Lead podcast. I'm Alyssa Otis with host Timothy Cuneo and Leslie Hoskins. We really hope you enjoyed learning, and please join us again next time as we continue to dive into the world of blindness.
And if you'd like to learn more about applying to Leader Dog, you can head to leaderdog.org or call us at 888-777-5332. Don't forget, you can reach us at takingthelead@leaderdog.org with any questions or ideas. And if you like today's podcast, make sure to hit subscribe and check us out wherever podcasts stream.